Wow. Wow. There we go. I thought this was going to just be me staring at the computer monitor for a while. Good morning, Janine. Yeah. It would have been really embarrassing if I started a live stream and nobody watched. Starting to feel a little lonely here. Make with the pets, right? Yeah, it must have been my own fault starting a live stream here 3 minutes early. I just felt really stupid walking around the house looking for something to do for 3 minutes. Yeah, we have supposedly some kind of a big weather change coming here in the next, few days or so. Wednesday, I guess, is supposed to kind of have a cold front coming in and a lot of rain over the next week and a half. So that'll be good. It's going to turn the pool area into a pond again, but that's what happens. Hey, Yvonne. Yeah, right now I guess it's just a gang of three. How you doing, Yvonne? Good to see you again. Yeah, he's down here. Okay, and that's enough of the brushing the cat channel here. That doesn't mean the brushing of the cat doesn't continue. It's just, come on, we have standards here. Yeah, I hope we get some rain too. Ours is supposedly a week away. I don't know. They're saying it's going to start raining about Wednesday and probably go through to Thanksgiving. We'll see if that actually happens. You know, they can't always predict what's going to happen tomorrow here in Texas. Remind me again, what area do you live in, Yvonne? I'll look at what's happening. I'll show you right now. Just tell me a city if you don't mind. Arizona. Okay, I see some stuff going through Arizona here. Where's let's see, I gotta find where Mesa is here. Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh, but I've heard of Mesa, Arizona. But that's sort of what's going on right now, and you can see Flagstaff there, and that's where there's a lot of activity right now. So I don't know. I guess you probably know the area better. I'm guessing that's where it is, or it could be what's going on up here. You know, that's a little something else that's going on here. That's kind of fun. But that looks like that's kind of fizzing out there. Look at that. Look at how much that drops in kind of the middle of the cycle there. Look how big it is. And boom, it's gone. So, yeah, I don't know. Instant weather reports on escaping the mouse there. You didn't know you were going to get that. Hey, La Claros. Oh, Pollard has a book coming out? I didn't know that. I'm not really following him as much as I do. I mean, I still I'm on the like Facebook page and see that, but I know they had an album come out a couple of weeks ago. I listened to a little bit. I don't know. I kind of got to the point where I think all of his later stuff kind of just started sounding the same, and it just it was. I don't think it has as hummable melodies as it used to. That's just me. I know a lot of people who are still fans say it's the best stuff they've ever done. So I like the fact that Bob got a great band now because um, everyone in the band is just um, an amazing artist. Doug Gillard is amazing. Kevin March on drums is amazing. Bobby Bear Jr. is great. And oh crap, what's the other guy's name? Mark Shu. Mark Shu is great. They're all amazing artists, and so it's really great that Bob finally has a band that can keep up with him. because a lot of times, a lot of the old, the early stuff was really, really primitive because the musicians weren't that good. They were just as drinking buddies and they got together and banged out songs. But I'm glad he's making a career of it. He's put enough happiness in my life. I believe, he deserves a comfortable life. So I'm glad he's doing it. I'm glad he still seems to enjoy doing it. I wish he gets some level of recognition beyond where he is. It'd be awesome if they inducted him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It would be well deserved. Hey, Mark. Let's see. I've been talking so much. I haven't been paying attention to what anybody's saying. How rude of me. Yeah, I don't know. It might be interesting to go pick up Bob's book. There's been other books written about it. There's another book that was put out, I don't know, probably 20 years ago about Guided by Voices specifically, and the book actually mentions me. So that was kind of fun. I don't know. I'm way in the past now though, so I don't know. Although there's parts of the Bob story that I've been a part of. So who knows? One of the phenomenons was the original pressings of the Propeller album, and there were 500 of them, and I collected a bunch of them. And at one point, Bob's had a few of them, and he decided he wanted to sell one, and it sold more for any Propeller ever in the world, and I was the number two buyer. I was the last person to back out. So, I mean, if Bob told that story, then it'd have to, that would be possibly mention me. So I don't know. I've crossed paths with him enough times, so it's possible I could end up in his book. It's possible he may know me by my Guided by Voices name, which is King Shit. So if he's talking about somebody named King Shit, that's me. Because I don't know if he knows my name. People in his circle know my name, and he knows me because I mean, I've met him a whole bunch of times. But yeah, share. Who cares? I don't know. I like Sonny and Cher as an artist. I don't like Cher as an individual. I've kind of liked some of the things I've seen from Tom Wilson. I saw a video once of a song he did about people who were always asking him about, Back to the Future stuff. And it's really funny. If you ever get a chance, I think it's called Stop Asking the Question. He's not really anybody you saw after that, though, really. I mean, I don't know of anything else I've ever seen Tom Wilson in. I like her acting in a while. I haven't seen her do anything in a long time. And I don't know. I guess you don't have to be a great singer to be a great artist. And I think Sonny and Cher was a great artist. Was a great group. So I mean, Kurt Cobain can't sing. Willie Nelson can't sing. but that doesn't make them not artists. I liked her in Mask. I think that was something she was really good in. Well, look who's back. I do think I remember hearing the Pet Shows version of that. I like it when bands do some funky cover of something. I don't think that's right. I think it's closer to 40 years because I think it was set in 1980. It started in 1985. And so, 2025 would be 40 years. I think they had more than one hit, but it was only a couple songs. I can't even remember any of their songs right now. If you, I remember them. I remember there were a couple. They had a couple of good songs that I heard, but I couldn't even tell you what one it was. No, I haven't done anything to the planner. I actually just kind of took last week off. Every once in a while, I just need a weekend just to kind of be me. I don't know. I got a couple ideas for vlogs this week, so we'll seem like we'll come up with something. I think West End Girls. Okay, I remember that. Yeah, I think I just traded in all my Back to the Future for Blu-ray. I don't remember the babies. Okay, so that's going to be the subject today. We're going to talk about 80s bands. That should be kind of interesting. I don't remember. I think I know what song you're talking about, but I don't remember who sang that. So you like the nerdy type, Yvonne? And it ran the whole gamut of stuff too, because you had the kind of the new wave thing, you had punk, you had kind of the beginnings of rap, especially in the late 80s. I mean, Michael Jackson was in his prime. Prince was doing his stuff. A band I was way into in the early 80s that I kind of decided later on wasn't so cool to be into, and then got back into a little bit as I got older, was Culture Club. I don't know. I don't think I have any Culture Club albums, but I don't know. They had their moments. Who remembers the Boomtown Rats or Wall of Voodoo? There's a good 80s band. Devo. You talk La Calera, you talking about what song did the Boomtown Rats sing? Talk Talk. Oh yeah, there's one. Devo's a great band. I'm sorry. Everyone kind of rags on them, but they got so many really great songs. Well, I think they're the most underrated band of the '80s. Yeah, Bob Geldof. Bob Geldof was the guy that did the "We Are the World" thing, and he was the lead singer of the Boomtown Rats. And really, they only had. I mean, I got one of their albums, and they only really had one song, and that was "I Don't Like Mondays." That's a great song too. Oh, Wall of Voodoo. Wall of Voodoo had a couple of songs. They did a great cover. If you like Johnny Cash did a song called Ring of Fire, and Wall of Voodoo has an amazing cover of Ring of Fire. If you ever get a chance to listen to that, check that out. But yeah, um, Wall of Voodoo is Mexican radio, and there's a couple other songs that they had, but that was their big hit. Yeah, I don't like Mondays is a great song. That's right. He did Live Aid too. You're right. And if you ever saw the rock movie Pink Floyd The Wall, Bob Geldof was the guy that played Pink, the musician who's so twisted on drugs he turns into a Nazi-like dictator, starts offing people. Yeah, that was Bob Geldof too. He's been all over the place. Yeah, Johnny Cash. I like Johnny Cash too because Johnny Cash did some good covers too. He also did Johnny Cash also did a great cover of Soundgarden's "Rusty Cages." That's worth a listen if you ever get a chance to check that out. That was definitely one of the things I liked about Johnny Cash is that he covered cool bands. You got to admire somebody in who's like maybe in that genre that would go out and listen to grunge or would go out and listen to Nine Inch Nails and say, "Hey, that's a great song. I want to cover that." That just adds to his coolness factor. I know. Can you imagine being Chris Cornell and getting that, or Trent Reznor and getting that call from your agent? Hey, yeah, Johnny Cash called. He wants to do a cover of your song. I know that would be amazing. Every once in a while, I hear something new that I like, but I've kind of settled into older music too. Jordan was a big influence on kind of my more recent musical tastes, and he's introduced me to a lot of bands that are kind of still on heavy rotation with me. Yeah, I've been hearing about that too, Gene. Don't want to perform for a communist. Unfortunately, you're right, Yvonne. There's a lot of things you look out there and say, I don't know if that's real. Yeah, I'm not surprised about Kid Rock, and I guess probably Dalla too. But there was another country artist too. I think I heard said he wouldn't perform in. It was a guy. It was a male. Said he wouldn't perform. Yeah, it worries me a little bit, Janine. I don't know. Maybe I've just seen too many movies like Terminator and The Matrix to not want to just trust AI. Well, I just heard that Morgan Freeman is suing to prevent AI from reproducing his voice. And maybe I'm just using AI to switch our personalities. Maybe Byte's the real brains here, and I'm the one just sitting here being pet, and they're just making AI look like we're the opposite here. It's good. There's some intelligence involved, even if it's just artificial. Hi, hey Susan, did you just pop in here, or have you been here for a while? I guess you've been here for a while. I just didn't look. Sorry, sometimes I respond just to the comments, don't necessarily look at who I'm talking to here. I just suddenly looked and said, "Oh, Susan's here." I hope not. Yeah, that would never happen, John. I mean, truly, the voters would hold him accountable if that politician lied. What is it they say? If "liar, liar, pants on fire" was accurate, congressional meetings would be a lot more interesting. Mhm. I don't know, it'd probably be on C-SPAN. Yeah, he's still here. Plus the fact, I mean, liar, liar, pants on fire, that would apply to the media too. So, I mean, the coverage would be interesting even. Yeah, of course, the election's over. The Democrats had to look tough for their base in order to get reelected. Now that that's over, now they can cave. Oh, I don't think that would stop anything, John. Those our government they have so many kickbacks coming from other crooked sources of money. Them not getting their what $200,000 a year salary. That's not going to change anything for them. That wouldn't affect them at all. It seems like everything that's come out about Trump and Epstein has been debunked. I mean, the idea, Epstein supposedly said that Trump is the worst person in the world. Why did he invite him onto his island then, if that's what happened? And Trump says he kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago for being a creep, and that's documented. They said that Trump had Thanksgiving dinner with him like in his first year as president in the first term, where the news media's own documentation says that he was elsewhere. So I don't know. I don't think there's anything there. It's just the Democrats trying to escape the fact that they totally caved on the shutdown thing. They got to explain that to their base, and so they're going to try and whip them up again, change the subject. Hey, here's another shiny object to look at. Don't pay attention to this. Look at this shiny object. Woo, woo, woo. Mike's looking at me like right now like I'm a lunatic. What the heck is wrong? Well, that's another point, Gene. It would have been leaked by now. Because somebody knew it, somebody would have leaked it. And the evidence the Democrats used was some heavily redacted note that connected him with some redacted name, individual who he had some sort of illicit relationship with, and the they know who the name was redacted, and she's publicly said, and I think wrote a book saying Trump was never anything but a perfect gentleman to her. So, why would they do that? Except they're trying to, hey, here's a shiny object to look at. That's all it is. Every time they turn around, the Democrats prove more and more that they don't deserve to be within a mile of power. Right, by Of course, Bite's a socialist. He believes he doesn't have to work, that he deserves pets and all the food and safe place to sleep and somebody to clean up after him, and that's just all comes for free. He doesn't have to do anything. He's a socialist. Aren't you? You love You love Bernie the Red and Madman Madami. Excuse me for a second. It was a little warm in here when I started, and so I turned on the air conditioner. It's a little cold in here. I want to lower the or raise the temp in here a little bit. Hold on a second. I'll be back. It's okay, Bite. You can come back. All right. Sorry about that. Whatever you do, never forget I am a professional. So, oh, yeah, okay. So, who wrote it? Who wrote it if it wasn't an autobiography? Yeah, we do have Temptations. And now he's coming back. He heard that. Matthew Cutter, he's involved with the band somehow. Um, why do I know that name? Sounds like you have a spoiled kitty, Yvonne. Mike gets cat food and occasional kitty treats, but only if he's a good cat and comes up here and visits. You don't get it. You don't get any kitty treats if you're just going to stand down there on the floor. Yeah, you're thinking about it though. You can smell those kitty treats, can't you? Oh yeah, they're just calling you. Yeah, you're coming. Yeah, you're going to do it, aren't you? Yeah, here you come. Come on, you're working up the courage. Come on. You know you can do it. Your audience is waiting for you. Come on, buddy. Yeah, we knew that would happen. Out come the kitty treats, and up comes the kitty. He must have been involved with the band somehow, though, because, like I said, I've heard the name. I'll have to look it up. Not going to let you just come and eat them off the table here. No, I probably won't do it. Make a turkey this year. It's not worth it for just me. Probably have a steak or something. I went to the grocery store and stocked up on meat, so I'm good for meat for probably another month or two. Steaks, chicken, pork chops, fish. I'm good to go. It was really cold here last week for a couple of days, and now we're back in the 80s again. But it's really going to change here, I think, in a few days. We're supposed to have big wet pattern come through here. Bring the temperature down, give us a lot of rain. It's 80 and sunny today. It's actually really nice outside. So you have a new cat, Yvonne, huh? Or was it a dog? Or do you have a new dog? You knocked the laptop off the TV tray. I'm going to be really upset with you. I've only been to Houston once, and that was when I went to the Johnson Space Center. It's just too big of a city. It takes forever to get out of it. Guess that means it's about 11:45. So you have the potential to have a lot of cats then, huh? A lot of strays coming to your house for pork chops. Yeah, having spent all my life in kind of the outskirts of Los Angeles, I'm not really that excited about you know, being in the big city. I like the fact that I'm kind of a small town guy now. I know a lot of women have had that sweatshirt, Jean. Yeah, well, you all know my one indoor cat, the one, the only, the bite man. Na 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 na, na bite man. Sorry, I should be ashamed. No, unfortunately, that's the whole song. I mean, who would buy that? Talk about your one hit wonder. He keeps staring around the corner at me, but he's not. Well, it's time you participate, Mark. Yeah, I made a lot of my own ringtones too, including the one that I'm using now. I pick some obscure song and make a little clip out of it. And yeah, that's how I look at it too. I'm not confusing somebody else's phone from my phone. There's no way I'm going to confuse that because I have a very unique song for mine. Oh yeah, I know a lot of people who do that, who do have the Rocky theme. A gay friend of mine, when I worked at Disneyland, I always knew when his boyfriend called because his ringtone for his boyfriend was Superman, the Superman theme. Well, generally, a ringtone, you can pick like songs on that you have on your phone as a ringtone. And so what I did, I mean, you could just use, just pick a song that you have already on your phone and use that. But what I did is I actually took a sound editing program and just made a little 10-second clip of my ringtone. And then I uploaded that and I linked to that. Yeah, you record your own voice, say, "Help, help, I'm stuck in this purse. Let me out. Help me. Help me, help me. I can't get out. I'm stuck." Or better yet, random fart noises. Yeah, you can record anything as if you can get it, get it into a digital format. You can use anything. It's easier if you have like editing tools and stuff like that. What made me think of that is somebody had a prank that they would record themselves going around with a fart making machine in their a fart sounding machine in their pocket, and they'd press a button when they're real near people, and like they'd kind of shift around to hear the and then they'd film the people's reaction, and so that kind of what made me think of that. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a very fun time, Yvonne. Well, it's good you can laugh at it now. But yeah, I can imagine that wouldn't be much fun at the time. You got to stand up, dude. Nobody can see you. So you got to fall over. That's the problem. Had a little too much to drink last night. You're kind of a little wobbly, aren't you? Modern version of the whoopee cushion. How did we go from talking about 80s music to fart machines? I love these live streams. They have like a life of their own. You never know where we're gonna go. Get myself framed up here. Look like I know what I'm doing. See, it seems to me to have been something that Carson would have laughed at. I did get some new rocks, actually. You don't want to see them though, do you? Because if you do, then we're gonna make another quick course correction here, going from farts to rocks. Oh, so you do want to see them? You really want to see my rocks? Oh, well, all right. I got this thing. This seems like a little kind of insignificant, but this is called a piece of peridot, and I have some peridot, but it's just little teeny tiny bright green or dark green crystals like that. But this one's massive compared to that, and I saw that and was like, oh man, I got to have that. So that's pretty cool. That's a nice little piece. And I've been looking for a piece of this. Actually, I have some of it, but this is called azurite. And I have a little bit of azurite, and I have something else called malachite, which is kind of looks a lot like this, but it's green. And I have a couple pieces of uh, rocks that have both azurite and malachite on it, and I have a piece of just almost exclusively malachite. But I've been looking for a piece of almost exclusively azurite, and I found that, so I picked that up. That's a pretty one. Oh, that little green that you see right there, that's malachite. There's a little bit more on the back, on the side. But that's kind of a cool looking piece. And I saw this one, and I said, "Oh man, this one's got to come home with me." It's just a cute little amethyst cluster in just in some what they call matrix. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. So yeah, you don't get to see something like that very often. I didn't buy a whole lot of rocks this time, just the three, but they're nice ones. And so yeah, that's what I got. Oh, by the way, I guess that was noon. It's funny, the clock goes off and I don't even necessarily hear it every time anymore. Talk right through. It's like, oh, that's right. The grandfather clock just went off. It also means the cuckoo clock's going to go off in a minute here too, because it's noon. Told you. Yeah, well, unfortunately, we don't all get to keep our looks. That happens sometimes. I mean, look at me. I used to be kind of a cute kid, but ew. And she still doesn't look that bad for 101. That sounds like a good deal. I love Jolly Ranchers. Yeah, he's like 99 now, right? That may be an explanation there, Susan. Got a few of the kitty treats left over, so I'm flipping them into the hall here. Maybe they'll come visit again. That one of those black sand beaches. Man, they have some of them in Hawaii. Yeah, it is. Those are amazing. I still keep Jolly Ranchers around the house. That was something I got into with my dad at the end, because my dad was at the end was having problems swallowing, and they had to thicken up all his liquids so he could drink them. But he had he loved the Jolly Ranchers, and they helped him keep his throat kind of moist, and he liked that. And so he was eating a lot of Jolly Ranchers at the end, and I kind of got into them. I always kind of like Jolly Ranchers too, but I got into them a lot after that, and I've always kept them in the house since then. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to live to be over 100. I don't know. Yeah, see, the sound of the kitty treats floating around kind of did get Bite's attention because he's out lurking again here. Let's see if we can. Yeah, we're gonna entertain ourselves now by watching Bite chase kitty treats around. Right, Bite? You found that one, didn't you? But you know there's more of them there, don't you? You heard them. You know it's out there somewhere. The most exercise he gets. See, they're just lying around the floor now, so he's going to have to start getting around, looking around here, try and find them. Oh, there's one. There, he found one. I think there's another one over there somewhere too. There's that one that just went flying down the hall. Yeah, you got that one. All right. Well, there you go. Oh, the odd things I will do to entertain my audience. Oh, hey, Elvis is here. Yeah, I'm coming up on the big 6'2" also. Hey, Darth, welcome to the party. Work's going good. We just finished our long week. So the nice thing about that now is I'm in my long weekend. Don't have to be back until Thursday. And then the week after that is Thanksgiving. And so I get Thursday and Friday off. So I got to work Wednesday and Saturday, but a lot of days off. And then we're back into the normal swing of things going into the Christmas season here. Yes, I do have some new rocks, Darth. Um, I got this. I've wanted a piece of this for a long time. This is called azurite. I have some uh, malachite, which is another mineral that's kind of found a lot of times with azurite. Usually the malachite is green. In fact, there's a little bit of malachite on that. That's what that is. But this is mostly azurite. And like I said, I wanted to have just a piece of mostly azurite. I thought that was pretty cool. So they had one. I picked that up, but that's a good one. And I got a nice piece of peridot. I've got a little bit of peridot that's growing on something else, but it's tiny little crystals. But this one's like, a little bit larger than a quarter. So that's a big chunk of it. And it's got kind of a pretty green tint to it. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. Get my camera action here. And then I got this piece, and I thought this was fun. I saw this immediately. I said, "Oh, that's got to come home with me." That's just a little amethyst cluster just growing into the middle of this what they call matrix. And so I thought that was really kind of pretty. It's not an amazing piece of amethyst, but just kind of the way it is. So yeah, that's why I didn't buy a lot this time, but I found that and I thought that was kind of cool. I wasn't even really into the Arnold Schwarzenegger Running Man version. I don't know. I think I read the book too, and I don't think that was one of Stephen King's best books even. Mhm. Judge for yourself. He's here, looking for kitty treats and pets, and he's already gotten his kitty treats, so you don't need any more of that. You're pretty fat already, aren't you? Yes, you are. You gonna look at the audience? I'm gonna make you look at the audience. There you go. You're looking at the audience. Now smile. Come on, smile. There you go. Got to smile. I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Probably just a steak or something. I went to the grocery store about a week ago and stocked up on all the kind of meat essentials. So I got pork chops and I got hamburger and I got chicken and I got steak and I got fish. So we're good for a while. We'll have something good. I'll tell you, I found this stuff at HEB that's I like wasabi, and so I've been, when I do like salmon or trout or something like that, I'm cooking it with, I'm putting, wasabi on it. Well, I found this kind of wasabi sauce that I could get at the grocery store, and I really like that. And I've been kind of spraying that on there, and it's really good. Kind of gives it kind of a sushi kind of flavor. I actually did put on the Top Gun movie. I saw first half of it. I haven't finished it, but I saw the first half of it, and it was all right. I'm gonna finish it off, but I haven't seen the whole thing yet. Oh, like I said, it's hard to judge the whole thing, but but based on that, I've only seen half of it. But uh, it's it it isn't something I've looked at and said, "Oh, this sucks. I don't want to finish it." I just kind of got in the middle of it and then had to go do something else and paused and haven't gone back to it yet. I don't know. It seems like it has an interesting story. Are you really staring at the couch? Such a gratifying life you have, huh? I don't think I've gotten to that part yet. Let me correct you, Susan, a little bit. The only cat on YouTube with his own talk show who doesn't talk. Yeah, there you go. Bites bite. I think the only ideas he conveys are feed me and pet me. I don't know. Translate for me, Susan. I don't hear anything. All I hear is him purring. Do your stuff, please. Psychoanalyze my cat. He's already got a sun drenched bed, and when I give him catnip, he barfs. They come in peas, not pieces. The first one I thought was good. It's just, it's once you've seen it, you've seen it. That's not how that works, though. We do the live streams out here. We're not going to let them do a live stream from bed. That would be pathetic, wouldn't it, Bite? Even you agree with that. It says on the computer screen right now it's 81 and sunny. Definitely looks sunny outside. That's actually a superpower, Mark. I got a couple of holidays related things I want to start doing today and doing this weekend. I want to maybe get the train set up this weekend because I start doing Christmas around Thanksgiving, and there's no reason that the train set couldn't be put out. And I also got a couple of new things I'm going to be putting up for Christmas this year that I want to get set up for the first time. Every year I like to do something different at Christmas or add something new. Same with Halloween. It's got to be something new every year just to keep people looking. And I found something that's going to be really cool this year. And I want to set them up. That's probably going to be part of the vlog. One of the vlogs this week is getting that done. And there's something else I got to do too. So I don't know. I got a couple of vlogs that will hopefully I'll get into at some point. One I got to do, definitely got to do this weekend because I haven't been able to put my car in the garage because this thing is in the garage and the garage is filled up with that thing. So, oh, there's definitely going to be rocks in the Christmas Village this year. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to have to start transporting stuff home too because I got to bring the Christmas lights home and all that fun stuff. All the Christmas decorations that are out over there, the outdoor stuff. Got to bring the tree home. Got to bring the Christmas tree decorations, the Christmas tree lights. Yeah, I got a bit to do here. Yeah, I am going to add the cemetery to it. Was it you that sent that to me? Because somebody sent me that through the Amazon thing, but it didn't tell me who it was. Usually, it tells me who it is, and I haven't mentioned it. And the fact that you know about it, I'm wondering, is it you? Yeah, well, I remember because somebody mentioned it to me, and I said no, that would be great. I would. I just said you'd have to wait a month to see it, and then it showed up like 3 days later. But usually, you know, it uh, uh, it includes a little tag that says who it's from, so I knew who to thank. But this one didn't. It was just maybe it was an anonymous gift or something. But it came and it was different. It was weird too because usually the little HO scale things you get, they're plastic. But the pieces are actually made out of metal. It's like die cast, which is really weird. Let me go get them. I'll show you. Show you. They're over here. Because I'm definitely going to put the cemetery up. I'd love to have like little zombies. I think there's zombies on my Amazon list too. They would be cool to have. Yeah, I'm doing a worldwide search to figure out who that was that gave that to me because I'd like to thank them, but I don't remember who it was. Okay, so yeah, it's a whole bunch of them here, and it's little cemetery headstones. Like I said, they're even engraved here with I don't know if you can actually read them or not, but they're just little gravestones, and there's little cross, cemetery kind of thing. And it's about 20 of them. A great little obelisk kind of marker thing. So I'm going to definitely make use of that and do something. But yeah, I wish I knew who to thank for it. I don't know if Micah has fiber in it. Yeah, I don't know if they had something like that. Like I was thinking, it would be fun to have like a little fence that went around the outside of it. I'm also going to have to figure out how to make these things stand up because oops, I just dropped one of them here because they've got just kind of a rough bottom little thing, and they won't stand up on their own. But I'm gonna have to put a little base on each one of them. But I had to do that with the little people I had too, so we can make this work. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd have the ability to, because you remember this thing's about half an inch long here and maybe a little taller. I think it's actually upside down here. And I don't think it actually says anything. I'd have to look close with a magnifier and see, but I don't think they actually say anything. But I was halfway thinking I probably need to paint them because, like I said, they're metal, and so they're reflective. They look like aluminum or die-cast metal or something like that, but they need to be gray if they're going to be a tombstone. But I thought it was really interesting that they were made out of metal. That's actually not a bad idea either, Susan. What I did in the past is used hot glue, and I put a little puddle of something on like metal, and then I'd press the person or in this case the cemetery piece into it, and then there's just a little lump with a flat bottom, and then they stand up really well. But yeah, you're right. We could paint the clay green, and that would look good, or white, because the truth is, we have white on the table because it's supposed to be snow. But see, that's also why the hot glue gun would work too, because the hot glue gun is white also. The glue is itself is white. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I could go back and watch the live stream and figure out who it was, but I got to figure out which one that was, and then go watch the whole thing and hope I can figure out which one it is. But yeah, it's a fandom gift here, but it's a cool one. Like I said, there's a lot of really neat pieces in here. And I mean, these little markers here, these little obelisk things, they're probably big enough that they could stand up on their own, but I'd have to kind of sand the bottom off. It's a little rough on the bottom just to make it flat. But then again, I don't know, maybe not being flat looks cool too, because then rather than being straight up, it looks like it's tipping a little bit and it's like it's been there for a while. Actually, maybe as I'm thinking about it, maybe what we'll do is we'll put these things on the base first so they stand up, and then we'll paint them, and the base and the stone itself will be the same color. That's probably the best way to do that. Probably just hit it with spray paint because I just would find a really, really light gray color. Like a flat gray, light gray. I don't know. No one's talking anymore. I'm literally talking to myself. Of the little tombstones, I don't know. There's about 20 of them. It looks like. I don't know. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's 20 of them. So that's kind of fun. Like I said, they're going to look cool in the cemetery scene, and we'll put some rocks in the collection or in and around there too to add things up. Yeah, it's just there was so long nobody was saying anything. I was wondering if I froze or something. Yeah, see, at least on this one, you're always going to be able to tell if I'm still broadcasting because if I'm just staring at the camera, it's hard to tell. But at least behind me, you can see the flashing lights. If you can still see the flashing lights, and I'm still good. Unfortunately, the only way I can tell if you're still good is if you're commenting. That's it. Yeah, the government's out to get me. I don't know. I don't think Texas wants New Yorkers. Greg Abbott proposed 100% tariff on New Yorkers relocating to Texas. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just glad I got out of California when I did. Oh man, can you imagine how bad it would be? I'm so much better off here. Everything is here. Yeah, we're in Texas. Everything's great here. There's a couple of really great governors. DeSantis is another great one. I don't know how exactly that works, Elvis. Because what do you ba- what are you tariffing? Are you tariffing, you know, is it going to be 100% more tax 100% more tax rate? So whatever would be your normal tax is going to be 100 times or 100% more than that. It can be twice that. I don't know. I don't know. It might just be one of those things where Greg Abbott's kind of learning how to poke the Democrats, kind of the way Trump does. He says things just to set him off, and Trump's the king at that. And I don't know, maybe Abbott's trying that too. Well, I mean, ultimately they were from what, Boston or something like that. Bush Jr. just Bush 43 came to Texas. And he lives in Crawford, which is about 20 miles from here. Actually, I've been to his ranch. Did a vlog from the front gate there once. But Bush 41, I think he was, where was he? New York or something like that. There's a lot of people say that that's the reason New Jersey and New York and all that were such a bloodbath, is because all the Republicans are already left, and so all that's left are these crazy liberals, and we're just gonna have to get used to this because all the same people are leaving, and all the leeches are going to move to those cities, and it's gonna be a mess in there. It's gonna be really bad there, in not a long time. And frankly, if we did true federalism at the federal government level, uh, it wouldn't matter what happened in New York, because if New York wants to do that, if they want to go over that hill, they can do that. And as long as the rest of the American people don't have to bail them out, we're okay. They can try their stupid ideas and see they don't work, and maybe people will learn and try something different. But yeah, I hear you. It's hard. There's a lot of people that have family or jobs or something like that. I mean, I did the same thing in California. I had to leave. California just wasn't for me. I was on the verge of losing my house, and you know, I mean, I was barely making it. I was making it only. I was only managing to keep the house because my parents were helping me. And then the job ended, basically, because Disney decided there weren't going to be any parades in California Adventure for until the following Christmas. So that was like 11 months away. And so all of a sudden my hours were about to go to zero. And I said, okay, that's the final straw, you know, and I left, put the house on the market, spent a couple months, fixing it up, getting it ready to go. And that was it. That's all she wrote. Yeah, exactly. Escape from LA. Well, and that's the whole thing, Elvis, is that they are going to be having to beg for federal help, and the media won't acknowledge that part. The socialists won't acknowledge that part. They'll just say, if there's any level of, hey, yeah, we're doing it, it's like, yeah, see how successful we were. Socialism works. We just had to have the right people do it. The property taxes are high in Texas, but you offset with that with the fact that I don't have a state income tax. Uh, it's not that bad. And yes, it's a higher property tax percentage here than it was in California. But in California, my house was worth twice as much. So, I'm probably paying the same amount now that I was paying in California. It's just my property isn't assessed as being as valuable. But even there's a lot of talk in Republican circles about doing something about property taxes. The argument that you pay off your house and you still have to continue rent from the government, or you can lose that house. That's there's a lot of people that think that's wrong, and and Governor Abbott's even talking about that. So I don't know. It could be some point that there'll be some relief. But on the other hand, I agree there are legitimate needs for government, for local and state government to do things. State government to deal with roads, local government to deal with local issues and stuff like that. There's got to be revenue to pay for that. And so we got to get it from somewhere. I'm not all about let's just cut the taxes and eliminate all that, because there are legitimate needs for taxes to pay for things that need to happen. So I just want to make sure that we're not paying for stupid things, and if we can eliminate property taxes, or at least reduce them, I'm in favor of that if we can make up the funding or get rid of things that we don't need to be doing. I mean, you got to remember, if funding the government through property taxes is a little bit unfair, because if you're not like a homeowner, you're not paying property taxes. You know, and so that disproportionately targets people who are homeowners. Of course, I guess you could make the argument that people who live in apartments, those apartments are charged property taxes either, are also, and they probably factored into the rent, but still. Because basically, that's how they figure things out. What does it cost to run this place, to administer this place, to maintain this place, and all that stuff, and all the amenities we're providing, and then provide a little bit of a profit motive to reward the people for their hard work. You got to. That's how that all works. But and of course, the property taxes get factored into the rent and all that. But still. One of the things I wish they'd do on the property taxes is I wish they'd break it up into installments. You know, give me, rather than one big lump sum once a year, break it up into 12 parts and send me a bill each month. Yeah, I started vlogging. The first, I don't know, 10 or 15 videos I did were at my house in California. No, it's once a year. And it came about a month ago, and I have to pay it by January. Yeah, see, even that would be a little bit better. For the first couple of years, I was concerned how to do it. At this point, I've got an option available to me. I have a credit card that I got about a year and a half ago. I haven't had a credit card for probably 15 years. I wasn't very fiscally responsible with my money when I was younger, and I just go buy stupid things and then get buried in debt. And eventually, at one point, I refinanced my house to pay off the credit card. And at that point, I cut up the credit cards and never got them again. But I picked up one about a year and a half ago when I was back from my mom's funeral because I needed to rent a vehicle to drive from California back to Texas when I brought home the clocks and stuff like that I inherited from my mom, and that was hard to do because I didn't have a credit card, and so I ended up getting one as a result of that, and you know I thought, okay, well, at least I can put my property tax on that and then pay it back gradually over time, but still. Yeah, that's a valid point too. I mean, I agree with the need to fund our schools and stuff like that. That's important. And I like the fact that there's really, really good schools here in Waco. And so I don't have a problem paying for that. But like I said, I just like I'd like to see them make it more convenient. And I think, if they're gonna keep going up year after year after year, make it so that I could kind of, like I said, split that up over the year, pay it in installments. Because I mean, there's just not a lot of people that have 6 grand laying around. Into January. Yeah, I got them like mid-October. I got the bill, maybe early October. They even acknowledge that, okay, yeah, this is a big one, so we're going to give you 3 months to gear up for that. But 3 months, that's still a very short period of time to come up with that much cash. Well, I never really had to deal with property taxes in California, or because it was automatically built into my mortgage. There was an escrow account that took a little bit extra money as part of each mortgage payment, and that went into the fund that paid for the taxes. And so I never really had to deal with it there. I do have to deal with it here because there is no mortgage. I paid cash for this, and I own this place outright. And so, the taxes, that's mine. That's my responsibility now. And like I said, John, I agree. The state of Texas and the city of Woodway and Waco need you know the revenue to pay taxes to support the things that are valuable to the community, because there's a lot of things, a lot of amenities around here that are funded by taxpayer funds. So I mean that's important. Wow. You gonna come up and visit one more time? We're coming to the end of the live stream here. I don't know. There's a couple of them around here I need to check out. There's supposedly some new barbecue place that popped up. Although I've heard some people say it isn't that good. But there's that Mexican place I've been thinking about hitting, and I got to do that at some point. And there's always something interesting to look at. There's also one more brewery I need to visit that I haven't been in yet. Plus, I kind of got to go back to Brotherwell again because I've been to a couple of events, but I've never really gotten a chance to go and do a tour of their brewery. I've been in Bear Arms. I've looked at that. I've been to Waco Ale Company. In fact, I'm even wearing my Bear Arms shirt. They got to be getting pretty close to opening up again now. Might have to check them out and see where they are, how they're doing over there. Thanks for stopping in, Gene. Yeah, we're wrapping this up. We'll be done here in a few minutes anyway. So about to hit the 2 hour mark on the live stream here, but I usually start try and start before the clocks strike 11, and don't usually end until they strike 1. Then we know we've gotten the 2 hours. That's sort of what I commit to these days, right? On a related note, I'm thinking about doing a live stream on Thanksgiving Day. So I don't know. Anyone wants to stop in for that? We'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe it'll be like that Christmas one we did. What was it last year, where we cooked something? Yeah, I started a couple minutes early today, but that's okay. I was standing around saying, "Okay, what am I going to do to entertain myself for another 3 minutes?" Like, yeah, this is stupid. Let's just start it. What's Swiss steak? I thought about getting a crock pot, slow cooker. I got the fast cooker in the form of the Instant Pot, but There's some things that are just really good when they're slow cooked. In fact, I bet you that Chasen's chili that I made a while back, I bet you that would be amazing in a crock pot. I don't know. I don't know what my position is about a next pet. I got to keep in mind I'm 61 now, and Bite's coming up on 19. So if I got another cat, that's going to bring me to 80 before I run the risk of losing that. And I don't know. I kind of thought it'd be nice to travel a little bit, but that's hard to do. When you have a pet, unless you're going to bring them along like Jordan does with Jaw. But you know, cats aren't necessarily the best travelers. Not like dogs are. You can put a dog bed in the front seat in Jordan's car, and Jaw will just sleep in that. I don't think Bite would be a great travel companion. Yeah, if I get to the point where I retire, and I don't know what my situation is, I might retire. I will retire hopefully at some point. And once I do that, I would like to travel, get out and see America. Yeah, okay, Bite's even giving up on us now. Ooh, that sounds good, Yvonne. No, I agree with you. I don't think you would either. No, I don't think he's doing the Christmas thing anymore. He tried that a couple years ago, and he did it for a couple years, and I don't know. It seemed like it was well attended, but I guess it probably just wasn't feasible. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate the super chat. And there's the cuckoo clock. This is my long weekend, so I don't have to be back to work till Thursday. So this is nice. This is gonna. I want to do some holiday stuff. Last holiday stuff, new holiday stuff. It'll become more apparent when you see the vlogs, but there's gonna be a couple of vlogs I have already in mind in here. So roast beef and cheese sandwich. That sounds good. Yeah, I don't know. I guess if you think about it, there's three different things I want to work on. I'll probably get back to that this weekend and try and finish it off. Darth's been putting the pressure on me for months to watch that, and I think it finally said, I finally kind of said, okay, yeah, it's time to do it. Let's put it on. And like I said, it seems like a decent concept. Uh, it isn't just a total ripoff of other movies trying to cash in on it. It seems like they're trying to take it to the next level. And so I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen the end of it yet, so we'll probably do some of that this weekend. Yeah, best way to make sure that happens, keep bugging me. Anyway, I've done my 2 hours, so I'm going to pull the plug on this one. We'll pick this up again next week. Keep in mind, and I said this before, I'm thinking about doing a Thanksgiving Day live stream. It would be normal time, only on Thursday instead of on Sunday, and we'll see what happens. So, um, I think that's all I got for today. Thanks for everyone for watching, and I'll check you out next time. Good night.